Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. It is Spirit of Paradox here, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing Ultimate Black Panther issue number 11 and 12. As of me recording this, Ultimate Black Panther issue number 12 isn't out yet. I mean, it is out in literally a couple of hours from now, so I'm just gonna do this one real quickly and get on to the next one. But I have got to say, for issue number 11, I am not happy with. If you could see on the front cover, Ultimate Doctor Strange, or Inan, or the Sorceress Supreme, is on the front cover, seemingly attacking Ultimate Black Panther. The problem with that is she's not even in the comic. Nowhere in the comic does she appear, yet she is on the front cover of it. And they actually tried to release this shit on Christmas Day. Piss take. But anyway, we're gonna start the video and we're gonna do what we normally do. Sorry about the rant, but I had to say it. Without further ado, let's begin. The story begins with Ultimate Khonshu / Moon Knight's army and a diplomat sent out to have a meeting with Ultimate Black Panther. He came alone, arrogance or bravery, as we see a Wakandan ship flying in real close and nearly hitting the diplomat. And we find out it's actually Ultimate Shuri who turned up to the meeting. Neither. It's cowardice, says the diplomat. The diplomat holds his men off and says, "We expected the king of Wakanda. You have his blood. That'll be good enough for today. You wanted to talk, so talk," says Shuri. Moon Knight has an offer for Wakanda, an offer of peace. As he pulls something out from behind his back, Shuri says, "Careful. You are one, outnumbered. I am not the one who is in need of caution," as he laughs at her. "Oh?" says Shuri. Shuri pulls out her hand and a small army of Dora Milaje come to her defense. Dora Milaje, advance! As they push forward, they make Khonshu's or Moon Knight's diplomats scared. "You think any of this land is not known to us? You are mistaken. So as I said, diplomat, careful." The diplomat knows she is not the one to fuck with, and says, "Your strength is recognized, King's sister. I bring you no violence today," as he pulls out a circular device. The diplomat activates it and it makes a hologram. "I bring a pathway to peace. A proposal for equitable split of the territory, the kingdom of Khonshu Ra and the kingdom of Wakanda. West Africa allowed to choose its alliance. Democracy." But Shuri responds, "You want us to concede geography to the people who tried to kill us." But the diplomat tells her, "Wakanda was a nation of isolation. You did not care about the fate of the regions beyond its walls until they knew about the sun, knowledge of Khonshu Ra. Your brother is driven by pride, Princess Shuri. I hope you can see beyond it." And Shuri claps back at him. "You have brainwashed villagers, taken their people and enslaved them to this madness by pretending to be a god. There will only be peace when you leave this land or be driven from it. So, Wakanda wants war. Then I also have a different offer to share. I suspect your king can see me now. That technology aids it. So let me speak to him." And the greatest thing is, T'Challa was watching. There are ancient ways to settle conflicts. ways that do not involve the innocent or those who serve either of our nations. Single combat. Black Panther faces Moon Knight. The victor decides the fate of this land, of Vibranium, of the future. You want to fight my brother? My master wants to kill him. But he hides behind his forces, even as he knows he does not understand Vibranium or the power of Khonshu Ra has found within it. Will the coward king face my master? And T'Challa responds, yes. In the next page, we go to some time later, and the queen is not feeling too good about the situation. No, my king. The answer is no. I can overtake him, says T'Challa, and Shuri responds, he wants a battle to the death, and I will be victorious. How he defines victory is up to him. My brother, you are not well. I am king and sound, and tell him I accept whatever he likes. Deliver him the message and leave me. My king, leave, says T'Challa. As you wish. Brother. And then T'Challa just gives her silence and says, tell Matron Imala I need to see her alone. And they both walk out. But the Queen and Shuri both have a conversation as they both walk out. Okay, clearly something is changing within him. I will take theories. The wound, the vibranium. He's been obsessed with it, like an infection of the spirit. And Queen Okoye tells her, that is the sentiment of fact, Shuri. I asked you for a theory. I think the vibranium has secrets, Okoye. Secrets no generation has sensed or found. And now comes the part where I sound insane. What if the vibranium has a consciousness, or something captured within it? What if it has given rise to two kingdoms to place them in conflict like pawns? Perhaps that does sound a bit insane, but follow it. Vibranium wants war. Why? Asked Queen Okoye. Because of what remains after, whatever that would be. In any case, we cannot let T'Challa accept this offer. Agreed. But he cannot know we're trying to prevent it either. In the next page, we follow up with T'Challa in the Black Panther cave, and he gets a vehicle out to get ready. And he asks, System, does this vehicle have a tracking module? Affirmative. This vehicle has a tracking module relay back to the Wakanda Command Center. But then T'Challa tells it, deactivate it. That is not advised. Security protocol code required. Code Fili, Nani, Watali, and Talu. Authorized King T'Challa. Tracking deactivated. And once that happens, T'Challa makes his way out of the city on a motorcycle. And as T'Challa is traveling, he has an internal monologue. The isolation, that has been our way. All of the tradition and principle, and we left a vacuum, and Moon Knight stepped into it, making people believe in him, because he was the one who was there. I rule a kingdom, in a land where I am a stranger. This is no time for kings. Kings don't know the burden of the world, delivered from it with pragmacy. My apologies, I had to pronounce that word. And it's left us ignorant and blind to what these people see and experience every day. And as T'Challa finds a spot, he gets his binoculars out and he sees people in the van giving out some sort of aid. But then we see the people who are moving the supplies have been stood up by guys with guns. They're moving medical supplies. Leave them be, says T'Challa. And who are you, local hero? Move along. That's the last warning I'm gonna give, as he begins to point his gun at T'Challa. You think that gun protects you, don't you? You believe in it. Then let's test your faith against my own. I think this one is on something. Watch the goods. I'll leave him on the dirt to scare the locals. One of the armed thugs begins to open fire at T'Challa, shooting him and hitting him in certain points, but doing seemingly nothing to him. T'Challa gets up close and outright batters this man, taking his gun away and then headbutting him in the face. And as the rest of these armed thugs see the commotion, they all begin to shoot. But T'Challa uses that armed thug as a meat shield, and they get their brethren instead of T'Challa. And you see, one of these medics basically took the first opportunity they got to run. And he's like, yo, let's move while that lunatic has them occupied. And T'Challa is just out here murking these brothers, like unarmed. These guys have guns, grenades, body armor and all. And he's just throwing them about like they're playthings. I really do like this. You see, this should have been on the front cover. Not the Sorceress Supreme, who makes no appearance in this whatsoever. And after a brutal battle with armed thugs, T'Challa manages to take out all of them, coming out victorious, and says, "You're safe. You can come out now." And the medic that wanted to run says, "Please don't hurt us," with both of his hands up. "Do I seem like I want to hurt you?" says T'Challa. "You're injured." Oh, so I am. Let me help you. It's what I do. In the next page, we go to these medics' facilities where they have multiple tents set up, and we see one of the doctors tending to T'Challa's wounds. So, we work in between the cities, doing what we can. Locals don't want us to change their ways. The cities don't want traditions getting in the way of their economics, while mercenaries take what they can. And the Black Panther, do his efforts assist you? Asks T'Challa. The Black Panther? Never heard of him. So, there's someone named Moon Knight, some kind of deity. I don't know. I can't really understand it. Some people believe in him. All I see are people caught in the middle of forces that don't seem to care much about what happens to them. A land of resources, where nobody cares about the people who call it home. These should help with the pain. I wouldn't take a habit out of attacking men with guns, as he hands T'Challa some medicine, but as he does, he realizes T'Challa is gone. Right, what to expect from a stoic man with a hovering motorcycle. And as we see, as T'Challa has left the facility, he says, "Open comms, Shuri." "Brother, where are you?" as we see him getting on his motorcycle. "In the country where I should have been." And T'Challa lets Shuri know, "I will take Moon Knight's challenge. I will shame him. Then I will kill him." Is this your connection with Vibranium speaking, or do you actually think that sounds like wisdom? I think we have failed this religion. I think there is much more we need to do. I think Moon Knight was inevitable. we can understand Vibranium, but first we need to understand Africa. I want detailed reports, every criminal network, every humanitarian crisis, all of it. Wakanda will be isolated no more. I will accept his challenge, and after a god is dead, it will be Wakanda that gives the people new belief. I am coming home. And that is where Ultimate Black Panther issue number 11 ends. Now we are going to be doing Ultimate Black Panther issue number 12. The story begins with Ultimate Black Panther absolutely decimating Ultimate Khonshu, with Khonshu's forces and Queen Okoye and Shuri watching. Black Panther comes out victorious with blood on his hands, and he tells Khonshu, "You are no god," as he stands over his crippled body. "Bleed into the soil you tried to conquer, Moon Knight, and then I will finish you," says Black Panther. "My king, he is finished." But as she says that, he has an internal monologue and says, "All I feel is hatred. All I am is hatred." And as we see a beaten Moon Knight try to whimper the words, "Mercy." As Black Panther begins to lose control of his senses, he says, "A soul within me wants his flesh and blood." And Shuri shouts, "No, not like this," as Black Panther becomes more feral and animalistic, and then begins to viciously attack Moon Knight while he's on the ground. Queen Okoye looks away in disgust of what's happening as Ultimate Black Panther ravages Moon Knight's body. But then he shouts, "Kneel," to the forces of Khonshu, and they all listen. And we see Ultimate Black Panther has claimed his victory with Khonshu's severed head in his hand. But then we find out, yet again, it's another dream sequence that T'Challa has. "Tell me, what did you see?" asks Matron Imala. "It's not what I saw, it's what I felt." "And what did you feel?" "I murdered Moon Knight under the light of the moon, and I felt joy. But not my own. Something else was joyful inside me." "And this frightens you?" asks Matron. "I am not a murderer, Matron Imala. Yet, on the next full moon you will fight him to the death. You have agreed to this, and you will write to do so. It will bring peace. His followers will serve you. The kingdom he has built will become yours. You will explore his powers, their powers, and you will walk towards your destiny." "Which is?" asks T'Challa. "The Voodoo Khan have waited generations for this moment, your bloodline to realize what it needs to be, for Wakanda and Vibranium to take their throne in the world. I am no priestess of peace, my king. I am a witness to a birth of a new age. I do not fear your visions. I embrace them, as should you as well." And as soon as T'Challa hears that, he knows there's something going on with this woman. "You know what's happening to me, what I feel, what I sense. I know there is little trust between us. I have kept your ways at a distance. But now I ask you, tell me, what am I becoming?" "You know what you are becoming. The great vessel, the God substance speaks to you. Your father could not hear it, your grandfather could not hear it, but you can hear it. Vibranium. A ridiculous word of science for something far greater. You and your rationalism have come to the water's edge. Beyond it is the sea of true knowledge, says Matron Imala. T'Challa takes in the knowledge and has a brief moment of silence before he asks Matron, Imala, in honesty, what god do you serve? And she comes with a smart answer and says, the voodoo can't serve you, my king. The moon will rise, and you will face Khonshu and Ra. No man is greater than his destiny. Let that guide you. I will pray for you, as she walks away. In the next page, we go to the night where the final showdown happens. The moon is out, there is a canyon, and people all over Africa have come to see it, with civilians, Khonshu's forces, and people of Wakanda. He comes with pageantry, says Black Panther. I come with destiny, says Moon Knight. You seem remarkably calm, says Okoye. I do not fear Moon Knight. I fear what Moon Knight will force me to do. They need to see his frailties, his vulnerabilities. It's not about the victor tonight. It is about how the victory is won. This will be the end of one age and the beginning of another. Blood will be spilled and the page shall turn, says Ultimate Khonshu and Moon Knight. Okoye, my queen, tell our people not to react, do not celebrate, and do not show stress. Tonight, we show them that Wakanda is unrelenting. For this land, I ask this land to guide my actions, as Black Panther digs his hands into the dirt and takes 2 handfuls for a ritual before the battle. Ultimate Black Panther and Queen Okoye have a brief moment together before the fight starts, and Ultimate Khonshu / Moon Knight asks some questions. Does the Vibranium whisper to you, Black Panther? Does it give you dreams of victory? Perhaps it has led you to your death. And the thing is, the Vibranium has been doing that for Black Panther, but he doesn't actually state this and confirm it to Khonshu. Instead, they both have an epic stare down. And Black Panther lets Khonshu know, let us see which of our dreams speaks the truth. Huh! Set your eyes on this moment. This is the first step into this continent's future, the end of limitation, and the punishment of blasphemers, says Khonshu. And as the battle begins, Khonshu goes on the offensive and shouts, the moon shall see you fall. As the fighting is on, Khonshu is going at Black Panther with everything that he got with this sword, and Black Panther's just dodging all of his attacks here. Under your armor, all there is fear, and we see Khonshu's forces shout, all hail Moon Knight. Ultimate Black Panther says, who? As he sees these shadowy figures standing behind Ultimate Khonshu / Moon Knight. Break before your faithful Panther, Khonshu says, before Black Panther basically grabs his hand and breaks it while Khonshu was holding onto his sword. With Ultimate Khonshu disarmed, Black Panther goes in for an attack, cutting off his mask in a single swipe. And all of the people have just witnessed Ultimate Black Panther defeating Khonshu. The civilians look shocked, and all of Khonshu's followers shout impossible. But before Ultimate Black Panther could claim his victory, these shadowy figures who were watching demand him that he will kill Khonshu. Kill him, one of these shadowy figures say. Kill him. But Khonshu on the ground says, no, I was promised. And as Ultimate Black Panther is ready to deal the finishing blow, like he did in his dream earlier in the issue, he lets Khonshu know, you were deceived, and as he's about to swing for Khonshu, this golden yellow string wraps around Ultimate Black Panther's wrist, stopping him from murdering Khonshu. And then we find out the Sorceress Supreme, Storm, and Killmonger have arrived. You must be T'Challa. I am Inan. Your friends have told me a lot about you. No idea who this moon guy is, but he doesn't matter. What matters is you have a vibranium problem, and it might be too late to save everything you believe in. And that is where Ultimate Black Panther issue number 12 ends. So that was Ultimate Black Panther issue number 11 and 12, and I have got to say these are by far some of the most just boring. Like this, I think this whole run has really just lost its hype and novelty. To me, this is just regular 616 Black Panther, where Moon Knight is black. Like, that is the only thing I could actually see, like, a difference. Moon Knight is played by a black man, or Khonshu is a black man. That's really it. But issue number 11 I had so many issues with. One, the front cover. Inan was not in issue number 11 of Ultimate Black Panther at all. So that was straight up false advertising by Marvel on Christmas Day. Piss take. Not to mention, not really much has been going on in these issues. Like, there's been lots of talking with some empty fight scenes. Like, yes, we did get the battle scene, the real one, and not just bloody dream sequences between Black Panther and Khonshu, and we've been very excited to see that. But after how they've just spread out this whole run so thinly, it got to the point where I just don't care anymore. To me, this is just 616 Black Panther, where Khonshu or Moon Knight is played by a black man. That is really all there is here, and that's not enough for me to determine this as Ultimate Black Panther. You need to be unique about this stuff, and I don't care about ghosts living in the vibranium. Like, I don't care. Like, that is such a boring concept. Like, oh, there's a spirit living in the vibranium. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, vibranium's just metal. I don't care if it has a consciousness, bro. I care about the characters, and so far, this is just 616 Black Panther mixed in with some MCU Black Panther and just slapped on the name Ultimate on there. And honestly, this run is really fucking weak. Like, the only run that I actually say I do like anymore is honestly the Ultimates, and I don't like certain parts of that. So for me, I think 3 out of the 4 runs so far are just garbage. Like, Ultimate X-Men literally is not Ultimate X-Men in any way, shape, or form. Ultimate Spider-Man, the most overrated book of 2024, where there is literally called Ultimate Spider-Man when there's barely any Ultimate Spider-Man, with loads of people just standing around with fat fucking paragraphs not doing anything substantial for the plot. And then we've got Ultimate Black Panther, which I think I've said already, which is basically the same 616 Black Panther, except Moon Knight is black. That is it. And that's not enough to be determined as the ultimate universe, in my opinion. This run sucks. Like, it sucks. Like, 3 out of the 4 runs, and even Ultimates in some issues, sucks. Right? It really does. And I think, personally, you should have just got the original creators to come back and to relaunch this, because after 12 issues of Ultimate Black Panther, I don't care anymore. Every concept, every idea now is just, I don't care. Can we just move on to where Black Panther joins the Ultimates? Or can we just get on to the part where he meets the Maker and has to fight him off? Because I don't care anymore. Like, honestly, I'm sorry, Brian Hill, but your run is just boring. Like, it's too thinly spread. There's not enough storytelling going on in each issue, and I just don't care. That is how I personally feel about this run as a whole now. It doesn't have anything for me that I personally feel like I need to go out and read anymore. It's boring. And I would say a lot of the rest of the Ultimate Universe at this point is also boring. But that's all I've really got to say for this for these two issues and the Ultimate Universe as a whole right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed it, or a dislike if you didn't, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.